Welcome to the Knuckleheads of Liberty.
Let's jump to our usual suspects of I guess the CNN and the Atlantic and some of those other sources. So maybe we can get an image on this. So there was recently a discussion held at the University of Chicago on misinformation by the likes of Brian Stelter of CNN and Ann Applebaum, I guess, of the Atlantic, were a few of the people. And of course, they even had an Obama politician in there. His chief of staff or something was like running. Yeah, he was running the thing. And of course, this is about misinformation. But and here's an image from it. But it was funny. There were a couple of students who called them out because they were all just, this right-wing information, this Russian disinformation. The whole thing was just an echo chamber, essentially, of them trying to essentially brainwash the next generation of journalists, get ready to go work at CNN or the Times or somebody. But anyways, so a couple of students stood up and they said, well, it's funny, you guys keep mentioning the right, but you guys for years have been telling us about Russian misinformation, and the idea that you suppressed the laptop story, calling that Russia information. And then, of course, the Nick Sandman, saying he was a white supremacist. Just one story after another. And Brian Stelter's immediately reaction was, time for lunch. Before he came, but he did stay and he said, well, you're just not watching the same network I'm watching.
Yeah,
But the more disturbing one was Ann Applebaum, because they had the question come up about the laptop, and her answer to that was just shocking. She said, let me see here. She said, my problem with Hunter Biden's laptop is it was totally irrelevant, responding to the election. Or how could that be irrelevant? I mean, literally, Hunter Biden was working for companies in these countries where he has said on interviews that he wouldn't have those positions were it not for the Biden name. And then to top it off, his dad was literally had authority over foreign aid in those countries during that time period. So it was just absolutely astounding rather, that this is a journalist who says this. I just can't even imagine a journalist with such a lack of curiosity about what's going on.
I didn't know what is amazing. What is even further amazing about this thing? Hunter Biden flew on Air Force 2 with his father to China, and about 5 days later or 10 days later or 2 weeks later, suddenly he got this multi-billion-dollar contract with some sort of financial management thing for a novice. But he got that after flying on Air Force 2 with his father. And Joe Biden at the time, during the election, was claiming he never discussed any business with his son about his foreign dealings. And we know that was a lie. We know it was a lie, but yet we have this arrogant piece of crap from the Atlantic telling us, it was all irrelevant. No, it didn't matter.
She has journalism skills when it comes to a Republican in the same situation doing the exact same thing. It's just that it was a Democrat's son or son of a Democrat, and a Democrat that went to China on the Air Force too, and that's what's important, or which the party is, because these people have zero principles. They are just partisanship hacks or party hacks, and they only have and know partisanship. They only know loyalty to the party and principles be damned. They are unprincipled, and that is not a compliment.
Yeah, if it weren't for double standards, they just simply wouldn't have standards.
They wouldn't have any standards at all, correct.
But this woman's response to the student typifies the arrogance of the mainstream media, because she said it was irrelevant. And I guess just because the mainstream media decided it was irrelevant, that means it should be censored on Twitter and on Facebook and some of the other places. That is the arrogance of the mainstream media, and that's how they see us as citizens in a supposedly free country.
Thank you for listening to the Knuckleheads of Liberty podcast.